All right, guys, welcome to the Open Mind Podcast, or you can say the OM Podcast. I'm Sam Jnr. and with me here is
Sela.
Today, I'm super excited for this, for my guest here because he actually gave me a boost in the podcast industry. I call him the pioneer of podcasts in Cambodia.
Nah, don't go that way. That's
you
too
are
heavy.
like you are. Trust me, you are. You know, you've inspired a lot of people. People I know myself, especially myself. You know, to do what I'm doing today, or us doing what we are doing today is like very, very new and very, very inspiring, right? And thank you so much. Let me tell you, Sela, let me tell you a backstory of how I got to meet him, right?
Rean Thort.
Rean Thort. Rean Thort walked up to me when I was in a bar. You know, he came and was like, hey, bro, I've seen your podcast. I was like, wait a minute. I know those guys see me. And he said he's going to invite me to his show. And yeah, it did happen. And I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I saw that episode with you two, you and Dallas on there. And it was honestly so refreshing because I've seen some of your other episodes. So it was cool to see, like, you know, as you talked about expats on your show, but having the Khmer English, like, mixture.
Yeah, it was one of the hardest for me. Like, if I look back what I had to do, like, in terms of, like, jumping between Khmer and English.
Okay.
And also, like, you know, try to keep it going nonstop.
Yeah.
We had almost like 2 hours. We were close to 2 hours.
Yeah, but the crazy part was, like, I was not even, like, prepared. It was just me doing it, and then I realized that that was hard. Yeah. But then it's like, hey, I already finished.
It didn't even seem like it seemed very natural for you.
I didn't think about it because every time I do the podcast, it was never the problem of how I want to do it. It was more about how am I to, like, making sure that this person is comfortable to talk.
Yeah.
This is one thing I really like about you because I've been going back and forth with your content, and I see that anytime you have your guests, you try to make them relax. And this is a big thing to do as a host. You know, sometimes some of them, they come with their own energy. You know, some of them, they're having a bad day and they come and they don't want to even talk. Bro, if you don't want to talk while you're here, get out, you know?
Yeah.
But what's your secret? Like, what do you do? How do you get them to be relaxed?
I think I realized that like, when you want people to talk, you need to be the first one to open the door for them to see what's inside or what you got, like, to bring on the table.
Okay.
And how open, like, you're willing to go.
Okay.
And like, how far would you want to engage with their story, right?
Yeah.
But once you start telling your part and when they start sharing theirs, you need to make sure that they understand you're listening.
Okay.
You need to give them this signal that I'm listening to you.
Listening to you.
I'm
Okay.
paying attention, and I'm also, like, not, like, distracting.
Okay.
And you also need to make sure that you prove that you're listening by recapping what they say.
Yeah.
Remember what
That's
we
so
did,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Not
And
just
then-
going into the next question.
Yeah. But you need to build that bond within that gaps. I think the first 30 minutes of my podcast is one of the most critical part. Like, how would you drive the podcast forward?
That's true.
But I never anticipate on how I want it to end. It was never the plan. My plan was to make sure
Keep
that
going.
this person is feeling like they want to be here. I want to
Yeah.
make sure that person want to be on that seat talking and also sharing their part.
And I see you don't like, yes, there's a storyline to your podcast and how you want the flow to be like, but you are open to risk and mistakes. Like, if something happened on the set, it happened on the set. No filter.
The show
Keep
goes
it
on.
real, man.
Keep it real.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love so much about you and your podcast and your whole brand. It's so real. It's authentic. There's no, like, oh, fake. Oh, let me try to make it look this way. I want to have this type of, you know, like, it's very real. And that's what really draws people. It's
Exactly.
like, we don't want excuse my language, we don't want the bullshit, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Definitely, we don't want
You know,
that.
the backstory to that is that before I realized that, before I became so-called influencer or creator or public figures, I did have background with acting class. I was cast
really?
for film, and then the film.
Wow, that's new.
Yeah.
Did you always want to be an actor?
It's a dream.
I want to see you act.
Me too.
Oh, you don't want to, man. I did a little short film with production abroad. But
Okay.
I didn't share it here because it was a little bit too much.
Okay, since you brought the issue,
I'll show
about
you later.
God. Okay, sure.
Off screen.
I want to see it. Huh?
Yeah, off screen.
Yeah, definitely.
We have
You'll
some
be shocked.
aspiring actors here.
Exactly.
No, the part is that I took the acting class, and then there was a certain protocol that you have to follow. Like you have to mimic your co-star, and you need to learn how to read the behaviors and expressing your feeling, all of these things. And then I realized that this is so fake, man, because like it's all portraying a feeling, you know. And then when I start doing my own content, I feel like if I go through that route, I would have, because I already got the experience and got the training.
True.
And then I realized that I don't think I can do that every day or every time or everywhere when I meet people.
Yeah.
And I want people to know me for who I am.
That's true.
And of course, like nobody is like a complete package, you know. You were always missing some part.
That's true. But your personality is very unique. Would you say is as a result of you studying abroad? Because I know you went to Midbury in Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont in the US. That's nearby me, near where I'm from too.
Yes, we talked.
Yeah.
And also before that, I was in Norway for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years that you went.
I feel like I was always like this before I left Cambodia, but it's just that I didn't know how to express it.
Do you miss the snow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
I do.
I do not miss the snow.
No, the
at
thing,
all.
I miss the snow during it fallings, not after it falls.
It's
Not when
really
it
cold,
sticks
huh?
to the ground and you have to
Because
actually live
after
through
the snow
it.
fell, like became icy and stuff,
Yeah.
it just gets slippery. Somebody broke their arm, their legs because of that, and you need to wear proper shoes.
You know, I've never experienced snow.
Oh, don't. You would not know how to survive unless you have like experienced people around you.
I wanna experience it. Yeah.
The
I went to the
first-
States when I was little, but then I went when it was summer because I was playing football. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Soccer. That's what the
soccer.
Americans say. Soccer.
Yeah.
They slowly changing it to football now.
I try to say football because I get embarrassed when I say soccer. I'm like trying to change my language now.
Now, but then it's good that because you make an announcement that you're from the States.
Nobody needs to know.
Nobody needs to know.
Yeah, I can speak for itself already.
No, so about you living in the States, you studied in the States for quite some time. You
Yeah.
had your degree there, and so many things were going on good for you. You told me backstage that you used to work with Vogue and everything. You know, like everything was on a rising for you.
Yeah.
Why did you make the move to come back to Cambodia? What was the reason behind
It wasn't really my decision to move back.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Rati from Small World. The
Ah,
founder
yeah,
of Small
yeah,
World.
yeah.
He just messaged me that he's starting a startup incubator company, that he wants me to be a part of it. We talked way back before I came to Cambodia during 2010 for the internship with this organization called Peppy.
Yeah, I know Pepe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was their webmaster or technician. It was internship. It was just like, you know,
Yeah, you're
sophomore year
starting out,
internship.
yeah.
Okay.
Technically, it was just free money for vacations.
I see.
Yeah, yeah.
We see the real motivation behind.
It's that's how I get home. And then I met Brother T.
Yeah.
And we became good friends. And then I went back to the States. And the T have these things going on in the States, in Rutland, Vermont, like
Okay.
doing summer camp and stuff. He was the trainer.
So you were back and forth, right?
Yeah, he went there for the program during the summer, and I was working at school, so I invited him to come to my school, and then we became really close.
Yeah.
And then he sent me a message, say, "Hey, if you don't have anything to do, come to Cambodia and do this with us." So I was on the brink of quitting my job with the magazine, and I was doing some other freelancer as well.
Okay.
And it was stressing me out because doesn't matter how much money I made, I still miss home and feeling quite lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I reached a point where I feel like I don't really care about how much I make anymore. I just want to be happy.
Just want to be happy.
So I came back home and I joined Small World for 3 months. And then I met my wife.
Okay. Shout outs to the wife.
End of story. Never go
That's
back.
what-
Never go back. I was supposed to go back to
Okay,
grad
so
school.
you got stuck by love, right?
Don't say
There
stuck.
was
It
no,
wasn't
not
stuck.
she was the one that like then I found out she has to go back to school as well in Bangladesh. She was this like American university for
All right.
women.
Oh,
There's
wow.
like American university in Bangladesh for women only.
That's interesting.
Like international school, you know, she got scholarship there, so she has to finish her senior years.
Okay.
So I'm like, no way. So I left with nothing to do. And then I started doing different projects with like TV, television. I was making TV commercial. I was doing weddings. I started a studio. And then I started to realize that Cambodia is evolving. It was just not growing. It was just evolving. It was just like transforming.
Like rapidly.
It's like then, like 1 week to the other, I got goosebumps saying this.
Oh my god.
This is
I can see the good vibes. Like
every
seriously.
time I talk about things that really matters to
Yeah.
me, I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
And then I told myself that, do I want to miss this wheel? Like, or I want to be the one who had pushing it.
Right.
Like
yeah.
and then I'm like, I came to a conclusion that I'm gonna race it. I'm just gonna try to stick my hand to it.
So you saw an opportunity for this huge development in Cambodia, and you said, "I want to be part of that."
Yeah, and then it was a long-term investment because I knew that it's gonna take at least 5 to 10 years to make to build that, and there was certain stuff that I already knew that I wanted to do, like making content and doing vlogging. Like way back in the US, I always make content like on Dailymotion, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dailymotion, right?
Yeah. I
And
know.
then Vimeo was one of the professional, and then
Vimeo.
there's so many other like social media like MySpace. MySpace was where to like show off my creativity.
Yeah.
So what was your vision back then for kind of how you were going to impact
For me,
Cambodia?
it was like when I left, all I told myself is that I will bring back whatever I can to Cambodia, like as much as I can,
Like what you
whatever
learned.
whatever I know, like whatever I feel like useful for the people, especially like technology, because I was always fascinated with computer science. And then
Were you in touch with the Khmer community in
yeah,
Burma?
everywhere I went, yeah, and they tends to look for like international student, like Cambodian student and stuff who studying in different schools. But you also have to make an effort to reach out to them, because
Yeah.
I mean they existed, and you just like you need to feel home,
yeah.
and that was the like as closest to home I can have. And I did meet a couple, and they're very very helpful. And regardless whatever they're doing there, but the thing is the way they treat Cambodian, like fellow Cambodian.
They make you feel like home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sela, I know
Was it-
you were back you were in the States, right?
Yeah.
And you decided to come to Cambodia, right? Was the transition difficult for you?
Yes. 100% yes.
Like,
course.
I always want to know. No, for
Definitely.
Rean Thort, yours is different. You know, you were in Cambodia, you went to study for a long period of time and work. So coming back, was it a walk in the park, or it was still you had to start from somewhere?
I think for her it's as difficult as me, but the thing is that because everything's new to her,
Yeah.
it's easier to accept it as it like this is how things is.
Yeah.
For me, it was like no, this is
That's not how it used to be.
It's just like no,
Yeah.
all these things, and I never been to Phnom Penh like ever before I left Cambodia. Like I only been to do like passport and visa. That was it.
That's it.
I never spent time in Phnom Penh, so I don't know how things work.
Yeah.
Wow.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Seraipon, Sisapon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sisapon.
it's a point.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So and I was born in the refugee camp.
Yeah.
So
the
it's like
two
my
side, right?
Yeah, side two.
Side two.
Yeah, your two side is true,
Two
but
side.
but Khmer we call it side two.
Side
He
two.
was translating from Khmer. You know,
Yeah.
I was trying to
two.
You need to go by the flow.
Exactly. You know, I read some article about you on the internet that one of your biggest dream is to go back to the Somalia, Kenya refugee camp.
Yeah.
Is it as a result of the past or your growing up? That's why you want to go back to experience it again, or you want to make an impact?
The thing is, those visiting refugee camps for me is that I have like very vague memory on how my life at refugee camp was.
Okay.
And but I had really good time
Nice.
in terms of like how my childhood was play out, because I didn't get bullied, I didn't get hurt, or I mean, of course there was in between wars, but
Yeah.
the thing is I feel safe.
Oh.
And I mean, without being safe in the refugee camp, I don't think I would have today.
True.
And how we transit from like in the camp and then integrated back to the society.
Society, yeah.
I like when I was there, I was in between Thailand and Cambodia. Like the culture was quite mixed.
Yeah. But you know, I know you can speak Thai, right?
I speak fluent Thai.
พูดไทยได้ไหม
ได้ครับ
Okay, ดีมาก Sela is
Adyo,
lost.
adyo.
No, the thing it's still like a secret that people didn't know about me, that I speak
Yes.
fluent Thai. I can read, I can write.
Wow,
Because
really? So
I-
in the
it's-
refugee camp, you learned how to read and write in Thai.
I mean, the influence was from there because I was raised by a Thai family for a few years.
Oh.
Did I tell you this? My parents gave me up for 2 years.
Your parents gave you out for 2 years?
During-
Yeah,
in- while
gave
you were-
up like
Like gave up, like they disowned you for 2 years.
gave
not
me-
disown. He gave him up to another.
gave up.
family.
To
Ah, okay, they
another-
gave you
Yeah,
up
I
to
mean,
a family.
technically, my mom was young, like quite young, and my dad was a soldier, so she was by herself. So I mean, I had no idea what she went through.
Yeah.
I clearly remember that I was with a Thai family in Sisaket. because the time when the Thai military, the Thai army, he took me across the border.
Wow.
We have to walk by foot.
How old were you by then?
I was like 2, 3. But the thing is, like like how your memory that young,
Yes.
it's becoming it became your dream.
Yes.
And I can depict it like a certain fear that I had because we were walking through like landmine, all this. Like in between the border, there's always things like this, right?
Wow.
So the person who took me off, I was on his shoulder all the time, most of the time.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I never.
You didn't walk that much.
No, because I was young.
Yes,
but the thing is
exactly.
that I remember that my dad told him to never let me walk because it's dangerous. That was one of the things that I remember, right?
Wow.
And I was
Blind
with this
mice.
Thai family all the time, and then all my childhood was all Thai.
បងអញមានបងប្អូនអត់
Yes.
ម៉ែ
មានពីរនាក់ប្អូននឹងពីរ I'm the oldest.
អូបង
Yeah. ប្រុសមួយស្រីមួយ
Oh, promote Israel.
Yeah.
Nice.
So when you were in the refugee camp, were you with your siblings too?
No, only my sister. My youngest brother, he's born in Cambodia.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think the time that she gave me up was during the birth of my sister.
Oh, I see. So I think it was a bit difficult for her.
For her,
maybe,
yes, she
yeah.
was like 20 something.
Oh, that's
Very young, very.
And
young.
those
It was
times
different
were
during
a bit-
those times,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
And alone too.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yeah,
not,
because
not with my
they're-
dad. My dad was
yeah.
away. He was the military.
So I know in '93 you came back to Cambodia, fully in Cambodia. Now
To
you
Phnom
have.
Penh? You came back to Phnom Penh? Or
No,
just-
no. The
no,
border.
it's
Ah,
Phnom
you're
Penh.
still in the border, but you're in the Cambodian side, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you are now from Thai getting into Cambodia. You have all these Thai accent, Thai way of doing things. Another way, was the transition also
Oh, it was
easy?
bad. It was bad.
Were you bullied?
Yeah, most of the time.
Oh my God.
They don't think that I was Khmer. They thought that I
Thai-
was.
They call you Thai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the way I look too look so different.
Exactly.
Really?
The haircut and everything, and I was always the different one. But that's why, like, whenever people like ask me about my childhood, like my inner like heart just
Your guts burns again.
No help.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. I can only imagine, like, especially you going back into, like, Sispon area, maybe you're going to school and, like, you're the odd one out because then they see you as Thai. Because a lot of times with Khmer Yeung, when somebody is Konkat or they grew up somewhere else or they have accent, then it's kind of like this separation. Or men Khmer Sote, something
Yes,
like that.
yeah.
Like my family, we're Khmer Kram. So they always call us Yun, you know? They're like, oh, men
That's
Khmer Yun,
really
yeah.
bad.
You look Khmer like
That's
100%. Even though like you were born in the US or
Yeah.
whatever, you look Khmer 100%. I can tell like you're Khmer.
You know, like,
Thank you.
and that's another thing. I think it's a wake up call for the society to stop labeling people or try to profile people based on where they grew up or because they don't have the kind of upbringing that they expect you to have. You know, many times people get labeled. You know, like I was on your show, you were telling me about how people would talk about my skin color and everything, and I was like, yeah, I joke about it. I try to make fun about it. I want to make you to know that I'm not shaming. I'm not scared of my color. I'm proud of it. That you cannot make me feel bad. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like most of the time, we the individual should be able to love ourselves so that this community can also love us back. But in Cambodia, sometimes it's a bit hard. You know, many expats come here and they find it difficult to blend in.
Expats, you said?
Expats, yeah, because of.
Well,
this
I mean,
thing
they're
goes on.
expats, right?
Yeah, it's true though. But then they are expat, but maybe their roots are in Cambodia.
You mean like
Yes.
Okay.
Like a John.
You know, like
me.
yeah. But the thing is, I think Priscilla did the right things by accepting that. Oh, I was not a part of like you know.
I grew up over there.
Grew up
born
like
over there.
I didn't grow up here, so
Yes.
I'm just gonna try to integrate myself in. You just need to accept that as well for the expat. You know, like there's two sides of the story. right?
Definitely.
Like one, of course, the local has to blend in, like to accept. Like I think I said this before with you. It's like adapt and adopt.
Yes,
If you want to adopt somebody into your own like you know space, you need to learn how to adapt to them as well.
true.
And it has to be both sides. Learn how to accept and also like
Definitely.
admit it that say hey, like for you, if you didn't accept that you're an expat, you know nothing about Cambodia, and then you're willing to learn, I don't think people would accept you either.
For me, I feel the reason. Yesterday, I was talking to Sela, and she was like, "Why do you think you want to live in Cambodia? What's the main reason?" I was like, "It's because of the acceptance here."
Yeah.
You understand? Regardless of all these bad nuts among everyone, the reason is there's still acceptance on a bigger scale. When I do content, some of my contents are basic content, and like I get people go like commenting on it, trying to appreciate for what I'm doing. So this makes me go like, oh, I'm far from home, but then I feel home here. You know, that's it. Yeah. So I think it's not always bad.
But I wanna ask you something, your opinion about this, because something that I have seen, because I am technically a foreigner, right? I was born and raised in the U.S. I just came here barely a year ago. But I see that a lot of times in Cambodia, the expats, foreigners, they get a lot of attention, a lot of acceptance, because it's almost like they're put on a pedestal, like, oh, these foreigners, like people want to raise them up. But I want to know from you, do you think it affects, like, does it make it harder for local Khmer people to kind of, become really big? And is there like some competition there in terms of this space?
It used to, I think. If you say before COVID, it was hard for the local to compete between the expat because they downplay themselves. They don't really know what their potential is. True. And I feel like now, like, we have so many platforms for them to kind of showcase their ability and their capability and like things that they can do and stuff. I feel like the local now have more guts to compete, to challenge the expats.
Yes.
And I mean, I openly say that, I mean, like, no disrespect to the expat. I say if you win an award, like a local win an international award, I would be more proud than the expat who came from other country and have the country to win the award. Because like I want the homegrown talents realizing that how far they can go. I'm not downplaying the expat. I'm just saying that they need to learn how to fight for their spot. And the reason why like I came back here is just that like I rarely talk about my degree. I rarely talk about my experience abroad to anyone that they don't know me. Okay. Because I don't want them to feel like, oh, because you went abroad and that's why you do all of these things. No. I want to be better. That's why I went.
But why did you? Why? I know you were in Bayon TV. Why did you leave so fast? Like it was just short time.
Hey, this guy. Long story short, I had so many other things that I wanted to do. And I've been helping them at the like backstage with the show and that kind of stuff. Okay. And I feel like it was not the right time for me to work full time. So I wanted to have
do your own
more,
thing.
And also like when I started my own studio and stuff, I was making more money as well. And also was my own boss, and I enjoy it more. So I'm very easy. Like I look at my life as I have to make sure that I do everything that every day. I'm the one who chose to do it. No one else forced me to do it.
Right. I think in that way, you inspire a lot of people here in Cambodia because we're kind of moving into this age where people are realizing you don't really have to follow the traditional model, like you have to get a job and be an employee under this company or something like that. Now, I think people around the world, but especially here in Cambodia, we're starting to see, oh, actually, I can do something else and be my own boss and actually make a living from it, but also be happy doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the biggest question mark is, are you happy doing it?
Right.
There's so many people I met who say they love their job, and then I ask them, are you happy?
They're not happy.
They don't have the answer to that. And that means that they're not sure. True. And all of other thing is that, like, some people think that being your own boss is easy. No.
So true. You know what? There's a trend. There's a trend that's going on. I don't know, but I've experienced it one or two times, right? The young Khmer youth, right? They join an organization, they work for a short period of time, and they think they are ready to be their own boss, so they leave. And they set up and they mess up the whole market. Like this thing, it's going on.
It's happening now a lot, especially with content creation. And I feel like not just content creation, so many industry are affecting by this. This is just one ugly way, I would call it. Like people just, of course, I appreciate it that they can do certain things. They have the ability to do their own thing, they craft their own art. But you need to be consistent.
Exactly. That's one thing you have.
Yeah, you cannot leave a trophy because of you make one amazing project. True. Can you do it 10 more, 20 more? The consistency part is one of the biggest challenge I feel like.
And that's what they don't wait to learn. They are in a hurry to just make it. I think they are more thinking about, they are more money driven than just trying to make a difference in society, right? So based on that, right, I would like to know how your career has impacted the society, the Khmer society that you have found yourself in now.
Impact in terms of like,
In terms of the generation, the youth, because now the Cambodian is, the older generation is going, and now it's like a big gap between the younger generation, right? And you have a voice. When we talk about Rean Thort, you have a voice in Cambodia, right? And sometimes you can sit down and reflect and go like, wow, I made this possible.
honestly, I feel like, thank you for bringing that up.
Sure.
I honestly never like told myself or have a single thought of I made anything possible. It was all because
A humble
in order for me to say that, everybody else has to be doing that. And if you want everybody else to do that, you need to make sure that they don't feel separated from you. They don't feel like they belonging to somebody elite. Cambodian doesn't like being told what to do.
Being under somebody's shadow.
Yes, but they love being inspired. At some point, they might realize it, but most of the time, they don't acknowledge that.
Wow, there's a thin line between this too.
Yes, there is.
Being told what to do and being inspired to do something.
But it gave the same result.
True.
You get exact the same result.
True.
It's just that how you feel is different. If I'm being told what to do, I will feel more pressure to do it.
Okay.
If I'm being inspired to do certain things, like for podcast, for example, I was inspired to do it by Joe Rogan.
No.
But the thing is that I'm not his fan, the way he approached the content.
Right.
I'm not his fan, but I
Okay.
just inspired at the fact that he has the balls to speak his mind
Yeah.
and confront his guests when the guests make a mistake or let the guests speak their part.
True.
Yeah.
So I thought that, I want this in my country. How I want to do it. Or myself have to do it because I was waiting for somebody else to do that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you don't have to be, you don't have to be a dickhead to host a podcast. Because there were a couple of people who host the podcast here before, but did not accept audience comment at all.
True.
If you want to connect with the audience, you need to let them in to your own, your own house, right? So you need to balance that, like, between doing your own things and also like listening to them.
Yeah.
True.
But you don't have to listen to them right away.
Yeah.
But you need to show that, hey, I'm listening.
Yeah, there's a balance between it. I think that's what's so exciting is kind of introducing this in Cambodia, making the space for there to be this type of conversation. But because in Khmer culture, you don't really talk back. You don't confront people as much.
No, even in my
way,
country, like when there are old people speaking, like older people speaking, and you the kid, you just try to make any comment. The next minute you get a slap on your face. I think this one societal problem that we need to treat, because back in the States, I know that the kids can confront their parents if they know that they are right. This goes a long way to boost their confidence when they grow up, right?
Yes.
So when there's a problem in society, they can pinpoint it out like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. I think there's something, Sela, this is a very good point. Like, this is a very good point that parents should start, or let's say the older generation should start giving the younger generation an opportunity to just talk.
It's about empowerment.
True.
People need to- go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I had my sons on my podcast just for fun, for 15 minutes long.
Wow.
A lot of people didn't realize that why I have him on. I mean, for them it's cute. It's cool because he was on with my wife.
Oh, nice.
But
family podcast.
yeah, but you know what? The main sole purpose that I realized that why I did it was that I'm just showing many like people who's way older than him that my son is 4 years old. He can talk.
Okay.
He can talk back. He can speak his mind without feeling guilty.
Right.
I asked him about like how he feels about his mom. He said his mom is annoying, right in front of her.
But that just shows like you've created a safe space for your son
Yes.
within your family.
Yeah. So I want others to feel the same too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's okay to speak your mind, but as long as it doesn't harm others. If you don't like it, just tell them, hey, I'm not comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
But don't go in the back and just say, hey, I don't like the person.
And
Force
I
me to
think
do it.
that's-
Have you heard people say you are difficult to work with?
I do. Wow. No, but it's okay.
Is it because maybe your standard is higher? Because definitely I know everybody should have their standard.
I would deny that. the thing is that when people say that I'm difficult to work with, and then they follow up, they were saying that I was cursing a lot to them, and then the thing is, with me is that if I did that, I will accept it.
Okay.
I will admit it and I will apologize. If I didn't do it, no way.
Right.
I will not accept it because, and I'm not gonna talk back. I'm not gonna trying to explain everything and just say, hey, I don't do it. Why would I waste time explaining? I didn't do anything.
So
It's a waste of your
when
breath.
people talk about you don't bother at all.
I mean, I used to, and then I realized that why would I waste time thinking about things that wouldn't benefit me?
Exactly.
Like I said earlier, right? On the couch, I said,
Yes.
I wish I have more than 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
No, because I'm reached a point where like there's so many different ideas that I see the possibility of getting it done properly.
Yes.
But then you need to learn how to bring more people in to help
Be able to
contribute
do
that.
it.
Yeah. So now I'm fixing that part by doing that. Need to bring the right people to do the work.
Yes.
Not
But
just
this
me.
is difficult. This is difficult because let me say, it's all amounts to standard, right? Because you've had your senior education in the States. You've worked there before, so you know how things are done properly, right? So people here, or the generation here, are still learning, and I know my generation, they always want to learn or copy, in quotes, right? So it's like, from you come, and they know, oh, Rean Thort is from the States. He's been there for a while, so let me learn from him. Do you think the problem is in your delivery, how you approach them? Maybe it's a bit harsh or straightforward. I know you like.
Yeah,
I like you for that.
It's one thing that I started to notice that the wordings and also like, I mean like in a relationship, right? One of my I think my old boss, he told me that finding a business partner or someone to work with is like looking for a girlfriend, looking for a wife.
Wow.
You're technically marrying them for work.
Yeah.
Like you need to accept them for who they are, and then they also have to accept you for who you are.
Exactly.
And doing so, I'm willing to accept for who they are,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to adapt. But then they also have to learn how to understand how I talk and how I approach too.
Okay.
Because there are certain way of teaching that I don't know if Priscilla didn't know this because she educated abroad, but here in Cambodia when we learn in school, the teacher is technically teaches.
Yeah.
And whenever like the kids or the sons or the daughter didn't get good score, the parents always blame the teacher, not the students.
Oh, really?
Right? Yes, always the teacher's fault. Mostly. It's true. Oh, teacher's not good. The school is not good.
The school is not good.
It was never the student problem, right?
Yeah, no responsibility.
Yeah, so this is things that like it's sort of embedded in our
Culture.
it's not culture,
Way
it's
of
more
life.
like social norm.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think it's just like the old way of thinking that they expected the teachers always like, would be
Yeah, to do
the
everything
main
right.
cause to every child's success, right?
That's so interesting because I think I would say in the US it's opposite.
Yeah.
Like the parents, they always believe the teacher. They're like, if you're not doing well, you're doing something wrong to the kids. Like
Oh, I
it's the
see.
kids' fault because the teacher's supposed to know what they're doing.
Exactly.
So it's the opposite. The kids are always like, you're not focusing. You need to pay attention, kind of thing like
Talking
that.
talking about teachers. Do you remember Mr. John Hedilton,
John Nelson, which one? is it?
Midbury University?
Oh,
Your favorite teacher.
yeah. The photography professor.
Yeah. I know he taught you to meditate 10 minutes before every photography.
Yeah.
Do you
I
still
took
do
class for that.
it? Do you still do it?
I don't need it anymore. Now the meditation is the photography.
Wow.
Before I didn't understand why we had to do the meditation class. It was a requirement for photography.
But you loved it back then, right?
It helped me stop smoking.
Wow.
I quit
Wow.
smoking from meditations. It's crazy. No, I'm not kidding. You should try it, people.
Okay.
You can stop doing a certain thing or cut off a certain habits by meditating.
I have some habit I want to cut.
Did you learn like that from? This is an American teacher, right, professor, right?
Yeah.
Can I ask you? Are you mengangkan sasana ike?
I'm actually Buddhist, but I really don't care.
Okay.
I honestly quite open to anything.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't practice religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so you learn meditation from this
Yeah.
American professor, right?
Yeah, but he was like a Buddhist student as well.
Okay.
But it was we doing hardcore stuff, man. We were we walking barefoot in the snow.
Oh my gosh.
for an hour.
That's so
Your feet is gonna get
interesting to
numb.
me,
Nope.
though.
You learn how to separate your mind and body differently.
Wait, I'm so curious. I want to ask you.
I got
because-
goosebumps saying it again. You know why? Because I remember that feeling because I was so shocked that that was the time when I no longer feel cold with my bare feet while I was walking. That was the time that I no longer stopped smoke. I no longer smoke.
Wow.
I quit smoking exactly that time because I completely understand how to separate this exact feeling from my mind. It was just like, you know, like how they meditate, they do a certain short, like core, like doing different things or sit still or walking slowly.
Yeah, different methods.
It's just like one thing, you just pick it up and throw it. You throw that spoiled berry out from your basket.
And it goes.
It was that. It was that.
You
It
just
was-
figure that out yourself while doing
yeah,
it?
nobody can tell you how to do this. Honestly, you cannot be taught to do this. It has to be you realizing it.
Yeah.
And you just found that little bad habit, you just throw it away.
Wow.
And
So-
then that's why, yeah.
So when you ever have any bad habit, are you going to resort to meditation?
Depends on me. I mean, if I have fun doing it,
Okay.
and some bad habit, it's fun too.
Fun bad habit.
So, yeah. I mean, but don't do that too much.
Okay.
But I'm so curious because for me, in a similar way, so I grew up Buddhist too, my family's Buddhist, but when I was young, you know, like a lot of us, we don't really understand the Buddhism and meditation and stuff. But
Yeah.
actually in college, I took classes in Buddhism and I learned it in English because when we so we're at what, like it's Malay, I cannot understand anything. But then I was in college, I took it in English and I was like, actually, these like concepts and stuff, I actually agree with it, and I started to meditate and things like that, and I'm like, but Khmer people have been meditating for generations and generations in our religion and stuff, but it's so interesting. Like for me, at least, I didn't get it from when I was learning Buddhism with my family because I didn't understand. So I'm wondering, like with you, because you started to do meditation from like an American teacher. Why do you think like there's kind of that disconnect? Like, why are we learning it, accepting it from like this outside Western when it's like right in our own homes?
Like I said earlier, it was a class requirement. And then I realizing that it was a class requirement. And then while doing it, it became like, you know, like really useful and really like powerful to help me going through what I wanted.
Mm.
And then like I actually try as well when I was because I used to live in the temple in Pagoda for like 6 years.
Yeah, growing up, yeah.
Yeah, and then you know the idea of meditating was not new to me, but it's just that I just don't see why I should do it.
Okay.
And then the way my professor explained to me about photography and meditation was that it was all about focus. Like Mark Twain said, that how can you focus while you are out of focus?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right. Mark Twain said that,
Yeah, McQueen said that. That's
and
very
it's
deep.
it's actually applied to photography too.
Yeah, literally.
Like the picture
focusing
cannot.
the camera.
Yeah, if you are out of focus, you're done. You're blurred, right? So that quote particularly I was stumbling upon on Twitter's back then before it became X. I was like, really? Okay, let me try it.
I see.
And even like my photography work also became more like, you know, powerful too. And did I show you? Okay, I need to find
know.
one.
Yeah, you need to show me that
I
one.
did the project for the senior project in photography that you have to do like a bunch of people portrait.
Oh, okay.
It was quite aggressive, and
Oh.
yeah, and there was one shot where I point a gun at my head, got a bullet on my necklace. It's like an actual
Oh,
real
wow.
bullet. The
Really?
gun was also real, but there's not loaded.
Right.
But I mean, like back then I was suicidal, but I just know like I don't know how to tell people this, you know, like I need help. Yes. I have no guts to tell people.
This was your way of like.
Yeah,
asking
so
for
in
help.
the exhibition, I did the shot and everything, and then my professor was like, "That was quite impressive." Like, but I'm suicidal. Like, no, it's good that you know how to use your art
Yeah.
to tell a story.
Tell a story.
And then just he saying that, I no longer feel suicidal.
Okay.
I'm like,
You
oh, so
felt
that's how you
seen.
get it out.
You
Like,
felt heard.
yeah, you're just like, so that's how you like convey your feeling
Your
through
feelings.
arts, right? And like recently, I went around. I did photo shoot in Russian market.
Mm.
The purpose,
I saw that photo shoot, and that's it made you very, very. I felt like you're so diverse, because you're like you cannot be predicted. When I saw the photos, it was like it's like what I see every day when I walk on the street of Cambodia, people selling, sitting down, an old lady. It was so unique. That image is so unique. It's on your Instagram though.
Yeah.
That's the first photo.
It's like the idea is to inspire the local to being aware more of the surrounding, and also the Russian market is now so quiet.
Yes.
And
Really?
it's
quieter than
so-
it used to be.
oh, it was so crowded before.
Really?
Yeah,
Why? Why is it different now?
I mean,
COVID?
COVID, and then also like how tourism plays out now, like not
Yeah.
just Cambodia, I mean in all over the world.
Yeah.
And like with this lady, I went on and ordered noodle soup for her, and then she was still smiling. The pictures in the album,
Yeah,
she's
I
like,
saw it.
like she was telling me a sad story, but she's still smiling. That inspiring a lot. Like,
Wow, that's really
like she's like, yeah, it's okay. Before I used to work so hard, didn't even get time to eat my lunch because there's so many people. Now I didn't get to eat either because there's no many people, and then I got so depressed I don't want to eat. And she's still smiling,
wow.
I took the picture without knowing that she was telling the story halfway, and I'm like, why this girl is still
Why is this-
smiling?
Wow.
And I'm like, to have the guts to keep smiling, and then the way she tell the story was so relaxing, but it kept in my head.
Yeah.
And walk around and seeing all the sellers sleeping because there's nobody buying it.
You are talking about Ruse market
Yeah,
going down, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of the future of Cambodia's economy?
it's coming back up. I mean, once you go down, there's nowhere else to go. It's only coming up. It's just that
But what's the
Everyone has to play
what's
their
the
part.
direction now? Because like many companies are struggling, many people are complaining. Like
I feel like because maybe we became a little more greedy now, like in terms of what we want
okay,
and what we can give. And people are so desperate, and then they make bad choices. I would just say in my industry that I know,
okay.
for content creation, for example, that we have so many content creators now. Everyone with a smartphone, with
Can do something,
100,000 likes on TikTok, Facebook, whatsoever, like followers.
They say they are famous.
Famous influencer, well-known star, and then they make content with the smartphone, and then they put some music, and then they do the video, all of these things. No disrespect to that. I respect people's talents, but it's just that how they value that talents, it's different.
True.
And like I said in earlier of the podcast, you have to be consistent.
Right.
Like, okay, fine. If you want to make food review, go make food review. You want to do fashion review, make fashion review.
Yeah.
But you know what? I used to say this. There's so many other categories that you can focus on. Why are we dwell of doing tech only? Okay, travel only, food only. But nobody else doing like fashion or specific craft art or like handmade craft or like street food. Like you just make a theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to learn how to categorize.
Different niches.
Our niche. And once you have your own niche, everyone will know where to go.
It's
And the experienced creator have to be the one who leads this. You
Right.
cannot just sit down like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create as many niches I can so that people can see different options where they want to go.
Yeah.
If I was telling others to do it and they don't do it, then I do myself. And then I will try to maybe gather more creators and then start doing it and maybe sponsor them to do it.
True.
Like you want to do something, I sponsor you to do it. Or
Nice.
you need gears, okay, do it.
Okay.
We have
In
that
your-
on recording.
Yes. I'm gonna write
That's
it
why
down.
I have no fear of saying this because
True.
I mean it. I want people to create the niches. Like when I saw your content,
Yes.
I saw the niche.
Yes.
Right? Even your podcast, you also have the niche.
Yeah.
Like with the list,
Yes.
she speak fluent Khmer, you speak some Khmer, but then the vibe, So I want to feel like how is it like? That's
How's
why
the synergy?
It's different, yeah.
this is one of the reasons why I invited you. It was
Awesome.
the inspiration of you two
Yeah.
have the guts to do that without getting any fear from being backlash by the audience.
That's
You know
true.
how Cambodians
I know.
like we just speak some Khmer and some English. Like, oh, can you just speak Khmer only? Like for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you speak Khmer fluently and then all of a sudden you switch back and forth, even though they know that you're from the state, they will be like, can you just not mix it? But then people mix the language all the time.
Right, right.
I'm always concerned about still on the issue of economy, right? I'm always concerned about where Cambodia is going to be in the next future because I'm living in Cambodia. Definitely, I should hope for the best
You're
for
living
Cambodia.
in the one of the fastest growing Southeast
Exactly.
Asian country
Okay,
right now.
That's a good point. But what do you think Cambodia can offer on the international stage?
I don't think we should really worry about the international stage right
I
now.
think no, because in development, definitely you should aim higher, right, and expand. Through expansion, definitely you should look at the international
I would
level.
speak only for my own
Okay.
expertise because I would not dare talk about like the other things that I'm not really clear of. Like say for content creation, I think I'm doing my part. I make many international connections. I bring in new brands. I went abroad and then people, I told them I'm from Cambodia, but oh wow, there were these things. And then I flex a little bit. I had a rat and stuff, so I was doing vlogging with rat and stuff. They were like, oh really, Cambodia can do that? I'm like, you're like, yeah. You want to bring this stuff to sell in Cambodia, they will buy it.
Yeah.
I literally told every brand I met. So it's just like your part. Like, what can you do to bring Cambodia to the international stage?
Yeah.
Music industry, film, all of these things. But then there's this problem. How would you represent
The country.
Cambodia? Like, just raise the flag?
No.
Or you just, like, you also have this responsibility of knowing your country as well. Like, how well do you know Cambodia? But I think some Cambodian would not know much about the country as much as you do.
That's true.
I swear, because you all have to do all the homework in order to integrate yourself into the society.
Exactly.
Priscilla as well.
Yeah.
But some local Cambodian would not even care, like, oh, what is the color of our national flag? That's the basic question. What is the color of the Buddhism flags?
Right.
Oh, that's
could be
that's
a-
complex.
Yeah, because, but then we learn this in
But
school,
they should
you
know. Yeah, they
Yeah.
should know.
I mean, they have it like every school. They have the flag.
Every school has it.
Yeah, and like recently I had an episode with Yurai from Poi Pat. He's like also like expat as well, but now he became Cambodian. He just got his.
Oh, I know.
Yurai,
Yeah,
Yurai,
yeah.
You know, you just have a casual conversation, and then we were talking about the local Phnom Penh. You from Phnom Penh? No? Ở đây là Phnom Penh à? Đã tới Phnom Penh.
What Phnom? I know what.
No, like tới nhà cọt. See?
Right.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, I go places.
Not his fault.
Right. Even I talk to people, like I'll talk to my coworkers or friends and like, oh, I got to do this thing because, you know, I want to try everything here in Cambodia. And they're like, oh, I've never been. And I know that sometimes it comes down to opportunity. For example, I took a trip with my family to Mondokiri and almost everyone I talked to, I never been to Mondokiri. And I'm like, I understand it's so far, you know, not everybody can take the time to go and stuff. But there's so many things like in Cambodia, like, yeah, a lot of local people, it can be coming to resources, opportunities or things, or they don't care.
It's true.
It depends.
It's for my opinion, right? I think when you have something in abundance, you tend to lose its value,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, Wat Phnom is just a stone's throw away from me.
Yeah.
Why should I go there? For me, okay, they know the origin of the Wat Phnom, right? They know all the history behind it, right? The expat doesn't know. So it's like the value in it for them is like, oh, I don't care, you know? But that's wrong because if the local show interest in Wat Phnom, the expats will yearn to go. There you can increase the value of the place.
Yes, but the reason like I bring Wat Phnom on is that say if I go to like a country abroad, they ask me, "Oh, where you from?" or this city,
Cambodia.
right? And then where do you live in Phnom Penh? And then like, oh, sit down. I have a story to tell you about Phnom Penh. This is how Phnom Penh was found.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Interesting.
yes.
Right.
You bring in the tourists,
Yes.
or if he happened to be a company CEO and stuff, he's like, "Oh, I want to visit your country," and then it's like, "Oh, interesting. Oh, wow, Phnom Penh is not so developed, bringing more like investment." So this is why like I'm saying that if you look at the big picture, of course, the high up has to do the work, but what can you do to make it better from an individual perspective? Like how dare you say, hey, you need to help Cambodia develop this while yourself don't even understand about your own root culture, right?
So do you think is the education? The education is wrong.
No, it's the person.
Okay.
Also, the influence around them too. Like for digital content, for example, there's so many content that it's good for entertainment, but it's not good.
To sell out to the international market.
For the impacts or for the aspiration to
Yeah.
learn more about the culture or to at least like you can entertain people by just slotting a word. Say, oh, I'm going to go to Wat Phnom today, the birthplace of Phnom Penh, just to do this thing to meet my crush, whatsoever. Okay, fine. You make a short film, fun, entertainment, but use the prop to indirectly influence people to go to that space. I would go visit a place by just seeing a scene from a movie that looks so good.
Yeah.
I do that too.
Yes.
So true.
And many content creators don't do this because you know why? I don't blame them. They don't have the foundation background from content creation or making visual productions. You know, visual matters.
Yes.
How you make the place looks.
Yeah. I think also though too, sometimes people forget that there's so much value in like the stuff that we already have here in Cambodia. Sometimes people are always searching for international stuff, new stuff. But I'm like, actually, I'll speak for myself as an American, like as foreigners, people love to know about the history and culture of Cambodia, like all the little things. Like, and there's so much here to be known and to be, you know, a lot of Cambodian people, they already know it, but they might think, oh, maybe they don't, foreigners, they don't care. But actually, we do care.
True.
We're so interested. Like, for example, when I first came to Cambodia, my family, they took me to Kofi, Diamond Island. And we went to Euro Park, and I was like, yeah, it's so cool, but I'm like, I want to go to the local market. I wanted to buy stuff, right? They took me to Eon Mall, and like, I was talking to my mom,
You know,
and
it's
I
so
know,
true.
I understand they want to show me like the good stuff about Cambodia and stuff, but when I first came, I was like, no, I want to see like the local things and stuff like that. So, you know, people forget there's so much value in the day-to-day stuff here in Cambodia, the culture, history, like that foreigners, they want to know and they want to see too.
You know, talking about cultural heritage, right? I see something going on, and I don't know if you're angry about it. Are you happy? Are you angry that Cambodian is destroying their cultural heritage, like the white buildings?
No, honestly, I feel like there's a certain part to it that I don't know, like behind the scenes that they doing, why they doing it. But for me personally, if like there's a place where I feel like should be preserved,
Yes.
They should
Definitely.
they should try to do that. But the thing is, sometimes there's an external reason that we don't know. Like, here's the thing I need to tell you. There's a certain like confidential, or like, how to say it, not confidential,
Or private?
not I would say we can call that confidential, like things that cannot be spoken in public. That happens. Like recently with the football, like the CEO of the league was
he quit.
not
they
they quit. They decided not to renew his contract.
Oh,
So
okay.
the thing is,
The Japanese, right?
yeah, no disrespect to him. He's a good guy. He's
Yeah.
done amazing. But the thing is like there's his KPI that he promised them to do, and his salary, and then the result that he delivered. It's not balanced.
True.
So they decided not to renew his contract.
Oh, my.
I knew the story, but I play along.
Yeah.
I just say, oh, sorry. But the thing is that he just so much investment into it, and then there's no return, right? So the public just say, why the government do this? I'm like, I know the story personally. I hear it from the first source, but I have no authority to speak it out.
To speak it out.
So
But
true,
today, His Excellency Sausuka, he announced the whole story.
Oh,
He explained the whole story.
coming from the big boss.
Yeah, he just say, okay, this is how much we spend. This is how much we invested. This is where the money goes. And then you guys like complaining about what. But it was not his decision. It was the board of directors from the leagues.
Yes.
But the thing is that sometimes, of course, from a public perspective, we can point fingers. It's okay. If you have the guts to do that, it's good.
Yes.
This means you express your right.
Okay.
But the thing is, there's so many other things that's going on. Like this is one thing. This is not gonna. I have to add this with this this line.
Definitely, you should.
Information is power.
Information
Yeah.
is power.
Yeah, but learn how to use that.
Information is power,
Yeah.
but you
Because-
should learn how to use it.
Yeah, because
That's so
once you're
nice.
giving out your information, you lose a little bit of power.
True. Yeah. That's so
Don't
true.
get it wrong, right? You know a lot of things, you keep it to yourself. That means that you know where to go and where to avoid.
True.
And also, like, same as people. Like,
Yeah.
you can work with people that very hard to work with.
Okay.
But then you know that, and then you avoid that person, and then, you know, you gain a little bit power of...
Yeah. I
Wow.
think like in the content creation space, I've started to learn that too. It's like, I know what is happening in reality, but you know, people that are viewing, they only see a little part of it. So they will comment, they will say things, and you have to just learn to be like, I don't need to prove anything to you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Rean Thort, right? this conversation is getting interested, right? But before we wrap it up, right? If you had 5 minutes to say something to the world, what would it be? 5 minutes to say something.
I don't need to say that long.
Tell us.
I feel like I think I'm 36, 37 now.
No way.
I wish I am.
No, you
I
look
am.
29, 28.
No, I am. But thank God that I don't look that old.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, right? I want to tell people that look, if you feel like you wanted to do something, you want to pursue a certain dream, or you want to convert your childhood, your imagination into reality. Don't wait for somebody else to come and rescue you or help you do it. Start from yourself.
Awesome.
You do it as soon as you can.
Awesome.
Because that will teach you how to, get your feet, like you learn how to stand on your feet.
Exactly.
And actually, figure out the way to make it happen.
Wow.
I came across a quote today from Tarantino, the film director. He's saying that
Quentin
the
Tarantino.
best film school is to learn how to make a feature film by yourself without budget.
Sweet.
That is the thing. Do it yourself. Self-taught some of it. And if you need extra help, go get some help. Go to school, attend classes,
Yeah.
and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
Thank you so much.
And learn how to be humble, please.
Wow. Learn to be
Yeah.
humble. On that note, we'll wrap today's episode. Thank you so much, Rean Thort, for coming. It's a pleasure having you here. But before you go, we have to enjoy our shakwai. All right, dig in, guys.
I'm just going to have half of it.
Okay, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Okay, promoting Cambodian heritage.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an end. We'll see you again next time.
Who
It's
said
a wrap.
welcome to an end?